Sir, edu America too, edu race na mo bempen so ahase na de edu mfimfin kakra na wa mo ho so a obeti asan nti wo fro kwa na wona omo eba uchi dom ta uchi no mo afan finish hard. You know. Eze you know no. Akojina ho no abo Canada Japan ne ho. Enye easy o. The Godson TV na Sabre ho kuma se the Godson TV studios. Ye ho nyuma nti say pressure kakra ofie. Na emu ye nte na se no nti no ye ma mo update ni ade. Na ye ma ekoso na ye be update mo. America kra bi mbo hu e sonko kra kwan sonko kra so. Na finish hard ni mu nkomo no. Hono abo Canada Japan na zen bi apie. Ai be se otie bi. On se on abo Canada Japan ne ba. Aba be de dwa sisi say on also parliamentary seat. Nkonya no. On also ukobi de. Minim sa wonte de anase bia. Hu bi dia. Ya be update you ama. Akonya bia hwe. Na independent in sense means so eba say hono Canada Japan. Le team supporting or you know chere say that be honorable say the adro the be ya say dem crofo bi chere no kokondon kro anase ko ka Alan kwadwo chere mate homa last week jene Alan team no ebi kasa amomo ka say omo de omo ya krado say kwam bia so say honorable Canada Japan e ba say obeka frafranto ho a omo ene no ebe nante no be ya adwuma omo de nkomo da yeso ka say pa no sanso omo no so omo ne no die cro no mu nyina so nze Kenneth Agyapong Junior and is our better just Asante Achim South constituency yesen so ma bi apue amaye you say okobi Raf Agyapong e ko bantema e ko contest asenso bo ache ho nsem be da dwa beye bebre wo Ghana ha no si hono obo Canada Agyapong ne ba enso e ko na kwa wo ko no ni independence ni mu nsensem nyina no na Al-Wahab Farouk international diplomatic consultant dia to dwase se alanchiramatin nim na onim na se den krofo yes onko kan lan ho independent wan no onim na otie kim wawu saint no ka se ofri NPP a wawu tie video ya from Alexis the Godson tie nkomo no nyina
Farouk Akwaba
Bacham Jose boss
me hu wache
me shaho
but why kase o
where sure
nanka senka janka wo ko wanim nanka wo sleme kaka ba de
there be frustration
oh yeah sure enya ahoto so de okoba sa Ghana boko de
inshallah
am for frozen so to say
oh yeah koso
bi koso na wi asen so
everything is okay is a normal world order yep the world order
odew e wo wi asemu.
Oh, you can't expect, say, the world would always be the same. There cannot be, the world had never been the same. Any generation deals with their
or
dealing with a problem. And the generation after generation, you cannot guarantee any generation. Because whereas, say, in the 18th century, no, almost complain, don't forget that the 5th century also complained. Don't forget the 7th century also complained. And it is just a generational issue. 19th century had a problem. 20th century is struggling through problems. But if you look at it, you look back at, you still say, oh, it was better then than now. But when you are within that period now, you see it the same thing as a struggling.
I don't know who say ebia generation bia so the edeba no ebia they get some some quality leaders bia they are able to deal with whatever happen.
We are dealing with a different thing. You are talking about approach. So you can't quality leaders etc. There have been quality leaders all the time. There have been bad leaders all the time. Regardless of which generation that we're looking at, regardless of country, what do we need? Because times ago, America no more bad leaders, brutal one,
very bad leaders.
Yes, leaders, and they almost say in the other part of the world, Americans will call it dictators. they've also had dictators. As in how and Monesa Nemano, they had dictators in the US. What I said. The same thing in Europe. On a fair share. There had been rebels at the war on Uyasi Babianemo. There have been rebels in also even in the middle of Europe, including UK. So many are no more rebels. I would say, that is how God created the world, and that is how we're going to see it. But having mentioned that, almost some people, they've also risen from a certain place up to this stage. They keep on advancing. In the same vein, say, your leaders they are going through bad times, Certain countries and certain leaders have really posited themselves. Our country, say development first, we're right on in aircraft, near Bandarati, Aaba been a normative in the fly, and Aaba be do Dreamliner, Aaba be double decker, be triple decker. I am Yuma Echo. So it is still an advancement into technology. It tells you say certain countries be almost so ideals, ideology, philosophy, and you almost know how almost regardless of the challenges of the world.
All right, you better say free.
Okay.
Na yes ya bonten. It seems to say you better baby in command door so you shall say free. Na fe ye ties ya bonten. You were 1 20 minutes to go. Tiwema mena Farouk Enshase.
If I were to be one of his advisors,
Kennedy advice.
Yes. Yes, it's a party being a den and am I a voice? Am I who and for sure for loyalty sake, untimin for sake party for now. But in Susan Pa say the political campaign our running and no gusu running. The billboard seba any talk shows are running and then the visits are call constituency, etc. It is not only the MPP delegates in Cornwall or City Bia advance a crowd in our court, regardless. So when Timenya a Bia MPP side na, to me, the gamble game here is that Obetima tested the waters of independent. Not all the independent forces, Joya Sayabua, Kofi Granting, your friend is Southwich Abosom. Omunina eko kahwa na be independent forces we are looking at because PPP your friend is saying PPP
papa
also no dia no wanya dia because the area ho ne king ho no kra no olusu entina campaign wo ye bet na mfa but I believe second the Agyapong or yes sir and Kenya bad. Having said that, say NDC, MPP, etimi a pull throughout. Now whoever becomes the presidential candidate, let's say Uncle Abia Canada Japona. I'm also looking at it, say, regardless of tribal setting, because Nigeria for you be a man, regardless of northern and then Christianity, it doesn't matter. A new country, a new birth. We want a movement. We want development. So I would.
Well, so a year ago, and a Farouk Betna Haya or cancer saying we say, I don't know if still or standing by whatever that advice no they maken and of course MPP and NDC na Farouk.
Yes.
Okay, we na more than a year now, and minim de uhu ye. Okay, say nye MPP for nkwa ne pe Kennedy asem. Ghana for ina and with Yehudi esi ampa Ghana for ina e call for Kennedy Agyapong. E den na hu no mu a udi kan this advice na kura ba yansa na obeti esi mu so ye campaign.
Okay, first of all, say this prophecy, let me call it that way.
Yeah, it's a prophecy. A dear fasting ben na ye empire ben na boy yeah.
Oh, now you see, you look at the political dynamics of the country, and then we'll share the shift of the politics and how people views it. The point is, it was even 2 months before maybe no be a grand interview.
Okay.
No medical or say unya kufi advance or also the issue, because that was where I said this for the first time. It is very simple, and it's Ghanaians are fed up with the normal status politics. My friend said the traditional and the orthodox politics of Ghana has here. people are seriously fed up. We've had, and in certainly country, be our sanity. Your two political divide. Oko American Republicans, Democrats, the blue and the reds. Oko UK, the Labour conservatives. Oko German SPD, CDU, Oko Austria SPO, and then all those everywhere in the world. In Argentina, we 2 parties. However, Abrofoni say their political parties are never in the history of their country are obitima benya leadership because of their numbers. I'm referring to a country like Germany. Omo your friend Green Alternative Party. The Green Alternatives, omo ideology and philosophy near simple. Some do green. They don't want even to see say train cry airco. You see a bicycle, you see a horses. They are only interested in environment. And to those who are interested in environmental issue, pollution, and anything that goes with environment, these are the people who are lying home and they don't want anything technology. What does it mean? Certainly, country to say Germany 80 or 90 million population, or about 2-3 million people are or more that kind of ideal. And to my former party friend Green Alternative Party, that is the Green Alternatives. What did they do? Omo Diane say you make sure say yen ye betima a certain fraction main party be here to make up the numbers and form government. Because don't forget Europe, a grand alliance and more munya. Because obia what do deba obi also and the philosophy and geology say omo pe defense cry. And the Green Alternative Party in all Germans saying they don't want Germans even to be involved in any defense. And also see a one that you can talk of it. Now, Oko baby they say UK conservatives, Oko Labour Suswa, your parties, don't say Europe, your a lot of Labour parties. What is it for? Some of them they almost say they are interested in getting job or providing job, etc. And to my fatum say only a Labour Party. Whether they will be able to provide the labor or not, it has been. And no, but Usha system now, you're center right, far right, you're center left, far right, all these things. But then let's look at the nationalist parties of most of the countries around the world, and basically Europeans. And nationalist parties, move here more of immigration issue. Foreigners, foreigners are Juma, and all those kind of things. But yet the idea is also a raw is saying we have a party, and then a party in here, yen to election, party no immediate there, winner takes all. Now the country Nankasano, you need anything called National Development Plan. They claim they have it. It is not true. We don't have it. And it's our National Development Plan there. And when you being share them and build a document or friends a party manifesto. Excuse me to say party manifesto no. Omu chairman certain executives. Nipa be 2-3 bi omo know how bi fees ye good in writing. I'm sorry. The reality is the because watch no abo. They pick areas on one person only knowledge. They pick areas on one person new idea. No actually mano. No my in a consolidated combined one document called a dossier. And no na party no there ben na ya or the bad governance. And there's a part in the no neighbor governance ma. It will be no idea. Mabajwa say. Obina koka agree on doda or to school. Or call agri college we
read the book.
Read the book theory keke. But we have only implementation. And the sign panel culture manifesto near the agri project man so on train shima. The farmer come on tia say your friend is say come only bibia about farming and only bibia about agri. Or share only the theory na your children no the Abesha party manifesto. It is like party in power. They pick the manifesto. But who kai MPP NDC party manifesto nina, it doesn't gear towards anything a my country say developmental agenda ecoso and propel the economy. All what it does is say it only stimulates winning the next election. To show they speak volumes on the grassroots members, how the party would enhance, improve the grassroots. What is that? It is if the party is only to speak about the grassroots, to speak about the members of the party there, then the rest of the people who do not belong to that party, we are not part of it. Yes, so it is seasonally, So the NPP ba power 4 years no NPP omo mbenya ahoto ebia na NPP members. So NDC ba power 4 years no ebia na NDC. I'm just saying it because a shifting wealth any ye shifting wealth my political party medibi me ko osubra be dibi na mensa ambra. We shift wealth, we don't do any planning. And he also this kind of practicing what is called social normal se Ghana or preachy edu campaign time omuka or preachy sociology and that's a socialist system or preachy socialist system you are a capitalist system was a communism and this whole busa said two parties woman yedenia we me say my socialist is that how socialist system operates we say me a capitalist what is a property owning democracy is that how capitalism operates we see woman yen say whilst I would gina parade now all year or promise or my promises in line with socialist ideologies nese onya power ni wia or say me to tax ma you don't have any right no call communism or to tax ni mu high so no are refer to capitalism America kura mon kona mon konkohwe said you see a tax here high no akofa United Kingdom tax 22% no akofa Cyprus tax 17.5 no akofa Holland tax 18% no they no that then they align themselves with capitalism but only a campaigner may toilet amamo Messi fridge metal fridge amefie bia one house one helicopter one man one wife then they give a whole lot of promise that borders on what is called socialist ideologies. Name a basse wonya power ni wia every implementation is either communism because the way parliamentary laws enacted establishing laws is borders on communism. We open cry here because the majority does speak. And interestingly, you will not get one single politician, say me a MPP, pass this bill. Nay, your majority, we do not like it. And to be a me vote against. No. We tune in line with our political color. Into what country are we? And me can we say Ghana, if we want to say enka Ghana be da, the only time in the history of Ghana during the last 8 governments, I Fourth Republic, is where we've had this hung parliament. So only one independent candidate. That very day I said, oh God, we thank you. But at the end of the day, what did we see? That very evening now, the candidate who's supposed to make the difference for us to see new Ghana, new approach, new economy, new administration, new governance and everything, we are no aligning home. Ebusuafo ko ene no kwotena ase ahemfofo frɛ no ahana free problem by krana waje koka hom then a certain bill has to be made of course unconfirmed but certainly no the campaign bill betua ma no eno align no ho then we say had the majority. Now look at it from this angle. Policy advocates, policy makers in any serious country no omnye party members and ye very funny constitution at parliament. Sir President Oba party bar call parliament no yi nipa or 30% or 40% as your ministers. You are not a serious nation. Serious nation now when say you don't know what you are looking for. Ob ministers now was akofa woman or better parliamentary work into a ministry on team parliamentary worker. They just only move from there to go and sign bill and go back. Ibukwana be Ukraine nya kwankwoye. When they call him to the bar to the parliament, something that borders on his ministry, Obaha, it is still in alignment with the colleagues and the divide. And so our friends were other side, they are even to support him, whether he's making laws or making nonsense, they will still align with him. And the whole country, the whole system, no one apart from saying I can say your constitution, no, I'm sorry to say, is bogus. We have to throw that constitution away because it's not a constitution that can jeer this country to anywhere. There is no review called why are you reviewing it? We're reviewing it saying we need a new constitutional planners, and then we have to sit down and overhaul the whole system. Then put the whole system and say same partner you're wrong. Look at it. Yakofa bibi is a military. Obi bo 45 years. Yes, was a military contract. constitution in the churches are near or 25 years. When you're 45, ahoɔden wɔ hɔ ɔnyare ne nsanteɛ ne nanteɛ ne human ne ugyina ne nan so ɔnya experience a nkɔno nso betumi de ayin party akyerɛ anaasɛ ɔno nso betumi yɛ hia na yi no yɛso tama so higher
na no na make asɛm we say say this president they are 30 years now it was 25
papa
and
papa
minim baako w baako yɛ very young otifie
papa
adenye okɔ
it is so sad
very sad
so was so military 18 years
yes.
including the 25 ne bɛka ho a say 43 as 33
okofie
now amana kɔtena fie one onye businessman two ebia next kan kakra no onyaa no enya de bitimi de na bibi no akɔtena fie saa until the end no adwendwen na stroke ayomu but these are stronger men young men that you can still use them country bi om yusu national reservists and also om shuom say your friends say national guard and I say your special rules na de ama wo mu we de ye no mu nyina ekofu nemom ukọ ye ministry sa obi se we chief director wonu nipa no every year bia no otimiti ni age so every 2 years bi otini age so obe reversing the age sa na obe call retirement so system already or 120 years what did them say all this in constitution no akanani aguso now you talking about what does the parliament says about what the president in the powers is intimi kan wasem ni na constitution e chese omututu bingu immunity omso omunye yantutu bingu but also when it comes to developmental agenda I don't foresee how 67 years independent nation still are yetimi makwan say the president pesoye otimiye me ba jwa dia say constitution no en forbidden no e wo niam mebrebe ho parliament na nkasa any development plan na eda ho a yes okay so we president AB party AC oba o manifesto ni nya no ne yehwe what started say we Kumasi Duaka reach we ye quarter 3/4 of it and I say we half of it when we are next president abeba oya twaso ye de no because say I don't want to complete for somebody to take the credit me na parliament allow na the same parliament akoje another road no master sign agreement no munyina sa akoho you see it is multiplication of too much of faults and the country no ankasa no bleedy and it's affecting the psyche of the nation too much Kofi country bay also in this part of the world if we're talking about today the most sought for and that's a changed profession are what nurses all over the world post-COVID all over the world nurses have been looked for all over Australia or New Zealand bebia hwehwe nurses Arabian Peninsula United Kingdom Obia not Ghana is one of the countries who producing nurses more than any other country in the sub-region quote me you producing nurses qualified nurses more than any other country but then it's also one country in the whole sub-region want me make use of the nurses so nurse you school now one man through diploma or certificate wa fa wa untitiem either midwifery or whichever now we are no asa catch and say or national service we call there to them no rotation we are no man akotena fi ade cha not TikTok so no akọ house will be a nursing now wasaba makola no anene mama ton banchi we are crazy look at the template of the Philippines and then the Philippines source of income 45% auto nurses what does it do how do they do it or training more Barbados YBCC
Cuba
yebi Trinidad and Tobago mina omu yebi or training more nurses or yeah 133 years contract with UK mobeje midwives so beje so no their mano salary government na ne deal ye ma obia o gene 3,000 pounds and na 3,000 na mandatory no government ni $200 and 200 pounds as source which is a huge money and they say in a year all the 1,000 nurses they out recycle them in 3 years what does it mean that 3 years no omo babak no they've gone to learn certain skills certain profession in the hands of different doctors wako gain experience we know aba now the for so see then at the core at the end of the day no the family is broadened 3 years now we di hono hwesika or the ama government on monthly basis 3 years no di hono hwe ne busuafo a wasend this remittances na wo so wasenya mfaso wasenya skill on pray no say or sakota country but we say 3 years time no they can go back to a different country. And na Philippines used to be poorer than Ghana because share the nursing scheme. What about Thailand? Is it different? The whole Arabian Peninsula, Thailandese Philippines, or Qatar, 250,000 nurses. So, if you look at it from this angle, like I said, we are not utilizing a lot of free resources. Yenya spending money. Ya creative. That this is what, if I were to be, in fact, Ghana Health Minister, I'm sorry, it's very sad, so sad. Say these are simple things. Say Ghana nurses every year be appetizing. The same song. Why not take me serious? No more born chance him and you are out of frustration.
Ministry no
ministry. Crap. Now some crap profession. Now want me putting into use. Who's I want me cotton? What want me fanning cock country being called Jessica? So Dubai. If the GOG government of Ghana say only Emirates government are transferring a more casa, name of your nurses said the OG for Kenya for near that your better nurses, and everybody knows. Anti Fabico New Zealand OG, Australia OG, Canada OG. Look at Canada now. They are hunting for nurses all over the world. Now nurses tiha. Let there be a demonstration. More their politics and say, ye betray musika mamo nurses allowance. Is that what you want to leave? 600 Ghana and then no politics are here, so they make them abusive. They abuse them. Now, and then I happen to be in a program somewhere, and I'll make it. I had the chance to be at the promotional exams, promotions, Ghana police.
Okay.
Yes. ASP4.
Yeah. Me invite from ASP. I was school more.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Papa, I felt so sad today.
Mantimanko.
I didn't know, say that college has such a massive edifice. I mean, I'm talking about the size of the land.
Yes.
Nekoshe hostels is sim. This is a real training college, training school, academy, FPU, departments in na land hosa. But come to Europe and other parts, Czech Republic, police for permanent commercial addresses bags. Men who factory be or car square you and abra police war transport division cars in your break it down. So they even take their police cars to a private fitter to do it or to repair it or to maintain it. It is so sad, say, what really has the country invested? Your police department. Apart from say training
all
them.
the forces so.
With their mama kabako. It's military crime there west.
They are very west.
Because military, Israeli military, or your telephones, or your no any to, or your weapons. Apart from that, or your helicopter, Apache, omuyebi. Nitri or de kunyina or kota won't me. They do it, they manufacture, they produce them.
And they military to me a bridge.
And your regiment as any money now, and yema because what you say, it has any so many years a punitive measure, the punish you. Ya double, ya me to me nesa akodoka. These are all primitive old system. Outmoded. What you say? Ne unnecessary salute. To best chest salute. The wood of a chest. You see, it is so sad. Say the country has so much that we can talk of. And I was reading a certain article. Say Ghana government or Ghana Cocoa Board. And then the syndicated loan. There is this news out there say this year no loan at a very higher rate, and therefore they will not be able even to fulfill or to satisfy the farmers. And to them pa na country
almost your friends say light in put this solar torch. They are farmers, and I was like, is that a priority?
And I'm coming back down, back again to the Parliament of Ghana. Say your agric minister, what does the agric constitution says? How does it go? How does it work? Cocoa board. Cote d'Ivoire only cocoa board. Our management.
Top radio.
Equatorial Guinea, ni cocoa, only cocoa board. Dominican Republic, only cocoa board. Country be produce cocoa, only cocoa board. They have just a normal management. Yeah, they are board. Your management, your technical, your this. At the end of the day, every day until 67 years post independent, there be a chair called Bruni ho, and they are cocoa. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Loan also kojiba would be a other salaries for doctors, other salaries for her. We hear the same loan. Loan no koto farmer no kwa. What's a times 2 because machines weighing machines in a fake. You see, all these things supposed to be the work of the parliament. But if it's supposed to be the work of the parliament, then we are saying say either the Parliament of Ghana, which has 375 members, out of whom you can talk about 60% whom are lawyers. How does it work? And a letter to the parliament one party stretch, one system of 4 years, one political season and one governance season. Yentimi you 1 year as a members of parliament. We are 75. Your constitution problem obia backup constitution problem say parliamentarians can enti why na make constitution ho adwuma say radio for am family na munya ho adwuma na mo parliament you are complaining about the constitutional crisis or the crisis in the constitution. Any little problem they say they find themselves wanting enti also your problem e okrom ha management a problem.
But what we say, you Max do Okrum, Ghana for friend. Yes, you are the guy behind that. But surprise is basically this year. But you are the guy behind that.
No, I'm Minimini Pakro.
Oh yeah, sure.
No. The new force. F papa. Once in F. Too nice.
Enyawa.
That's enyamia. Once I'm in politics. More NDS.
Enya politician kwane ye.
But I'm just say 2024 we see Ghana the most watertight elections in the history of Ghana. Sure. Yes, 2024, both parties, none of them will have it easy. Quote it. They will not have it easy. We will not have one majority straightforward. They will not get it like that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm telling you.
And the person that Kobe team they are called the run of Nana Kennedy Japan. But he's not sitting down.
No.
Encourage the Ghanaians.
No. He doesn't need to tell Ghanaians anything. Well, MPP member, what I say, to me at this stage, it will be very unwise. So Obeka so co-independent.
Okay,
I'm sharing my free advice.
Okay,
it will be very unwise. That time I make or say or co-independent, there will be problem. No, so that time I didn't speak on the mind. Say be a party. I said it, but it has come to pass.
Yes,
and I'm telling you, say at this point, fine. He has shown his capacity, and then the willingness and the feeling of the people. And how maybe his own party they like him. Now, there was certain 4 years. I'm just only playing the devil's advocate.
Okay.
There was certain 4 years. Should it happen, say be a President Mahama, former, be a no abe winning. Should it happen? And here just only me proposal, but in just a validation. And obey now MPP would have to go to another Congress in 2025, 2026. Canada Agyapong will be meaningful. At that time, no, that will be a rare battle because His Excellency Baumia is no more in the government. So the government machinery maybe will not be. I'm just only this. I'll go the other flip side of it. And to do honor, he will be very useful for MPP. Until at this point, and any card party, I want to reduce all these years. And it's Wakasa or Tnase, Nese, where you know who from no co-independent, Papa, it will not catch up. He has lost big time. On time the party no more President Baumia, let's go campaign by ya. Obit ma take break, but don't take break ya. On one no party in campaign no break 18. On the other side, should it happen, say Ebia MPP said to me break 18 then there will be a pressure on NDC whom to produce 2028. Having in mind, say President Mama, my free advice would also be say NDC should not think say they have strong party. They shouldn't think they have strong party.
But they have
a good party, but they don't have the presidential hierarchy, on the back line, and yeah.
Oh
yeah, of course. Take President Mama out of it now. Who is the next popular person in NDC?
They don't have it now because Mahama is there.
No, that is why I'm saying that every party you have a succession plan.
Anyway,
Ghanaian parties don't have succession plan. But I'm saying the government in power, and because of the incumbency for 8 years, there are certain generation, there are certain a year, a crop year, omoba, yabehu Kennedy Agyapong. And you can say, in the mind of every Ghanaian, your His Excellency Baumia, but then you are certain Kennedy Agyapong where you need to NPP.
Yes.
So that line or ho, a certain adeni mobia on so unity, into your backline, into say President Mama in the case of NDC, no, on backline anyway. Okuje tu Felix Ofusukwache honorable for Omane Boama I said nkatia after 4 years no I am kakra obukura poma no ogina home ulma waya de Sylvester Mensah
yeah.
But Sylvester in 2016 and sanan ko kekan ho
yes.
Look at how he went out I made a meaning that what they say every free ankra no sisi no the party is quiet. And they have to also look at it, say, His Excellency President Mama had been very useful in the last 12 years, in the last 16 years. But whatever that it is, fatigue beba, or bebre. And the ones who feature 3 times, may God forbid, and I do call 3 times and stand over. So who feature 3 times 1 year, but at that time age has also caught up with him. So when Timan could be an asokas okay, wa bro kojina home, said Okai after 2012, 2006 Okas or kojina won't decide. What would NDC do? Anything a man back because 2016 no Okaso person ko dolfo or ko transnational jina home on decide your bay. But he realized there was the party. There was no any strong force to compete. 2020 was a unity, 90-something%. And Obeji and was certain or said the 2 parties, almost building up the party succession plan for the next generation of the president. Now some more build you dia. Mamon build you excuse me to say quote unquote. Say they see Fesika, say they see this Gessie. Because young boys that went into politics, and that's from President Mills to President Kufuor one feature young youth too much. But President Mills, President Mama, and His Excellency Nanado, these 3 governments talk about the last 12 years. Youth ni be about 40-45% in there. Omina Beka say in the bracket of 45 years down. And then the about Ghana politics. Boys in Miska Dicha and Kokrafono. So we have a problem because if they do know. Said there's a certain plan ebe rokono odilam to say Botswana versus Mogamo na edaho Namibia swapu waya de daho enti enzo usu kwa we neighbor enti you so unim say ebe hitwa misbehave or ministry you try to create name make a name and not making a bad name make an impact of the ministry. And then do ministry our budget. Then no
say come back to history. Now you share somebody like former trade minister, a party away from the biggest political party we have in Ghana now as we speak.
Yes.
A bad and that's a negative effect.
Any negative effect mobia. Any negative effect mobia. Is a party person. But to me I would say Honorable Alan Chomartin. He didn't create much as a constituency for his own. I will be to identify say Kasubina Nanka Bitmaka say you zoom in and I say Ubitmaka say in constituency and I say constituency
not like Kennedy Agyapong.
It was central region because one co-parliament da. And one co-parliament dance the grassroots the constituents executives near there you need a certain constituency. But men who say be a Sunyan constituency bino ubitima writing name on top of it. And yes, much as he was very popular in the party, I think say politically or relaxe kakra. Not that was standing no. He's still useful, say that will make 2024 election, like I told you, an interesting one. Because goom wadina sorry ma any pro nkroma philosophy kakrano wadinya 116,000. Now she create a population there on to 40 million. Now a third party, only 116,000 members.
Sad.
It is the most saddest history of mankind. What is the mission? And what does it mean? His Excellency or your friends, Honorable Alan Chomartin, rough calculation plus minus. So step out in a far Anthony year, Obetima Kachibed 150 to 200,000 nationwide.
I think he needs not less than as a region beer. So between the 2024 I call runoff. Here region be 25,000.
Oh, the region be 25,000. put down, it is not automatic say so in your region be 25,000 because main parties in your region be no winning. Money generally Ghana, the whole general Ghana, Utiminya 200,000. These two parties will margin difference in a new 200,000. All things being equal plus minus. Only 200,000. MPP year about when 50.8, 50.1, 52 on Trabebia. NDC year about when 50.2, 50.3. Or margin 40,000 they are winning elections were Chroma say under 2008. 40,000 margin 10 and MPP anko. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
The Ebenya larger margin and a bigger margin no, in the history of the Fourth Republic. And 1 million. Because I know look at the time ne nebia aggression ne ebia said the niama is cool. Whereas I said the two parties all things being equal. And why it makes it watertight this year and say NDC for atenafie koma dioma che 8 years hwe ewa chon entioma ho achiro mtom to beto. That is why we position no they are eager to vote. Now the incumbent government also make enemies within your own party to number be reduce plus minus. And when number they reduce a certain Alan Chamatin who is honorable our world government also be free because Alan Chamatin faithfuls omuna so you 10,000 krana or do mu kwa abe shorting. And then a gum so on this your best type game no. And a certain new force
like you.
I don't know. A certain new force elections. Certain new force so a mask. Almost so Aaba. Now if all these things collectively no new force for ba Joyce Obo Amoba and independent grand independent alliance go fear you but this do mean like a muabum. So mean any gum Henry and Mr. Alan Martin Kabuma. Say me if I were to be Alan, I'll use my stature. I'm not talking about structure, my political stature. I'll use my political maybe a dinner wagana and then the rule sit here. Why gentleman? What I say? Anyway, elderly man compared to all independents or put two now together or two moon or jet 300,000, 500,000. You be election 20 times. Or be a new bit mania. Into 2024 is the destiny.
All right, 2024 is the destiny whereby the two major political parties, omu leading in every certain direction, certain place.
Oh, I can say northern region. Northern Ghana.
Ghana, but we're going to have a history.
It's only history that is made, but I don't see any difference because, of course, Southness. Why is it a big deal? All the time, see to me, Southness bear 5. No mere presidential candidates. Why for once, Northerners 2, a presidential candidate for the two opposition party, a big deal. Yenya from South, maybe be His Excellency Rollins, or down or no, President Kofo, no so President Mills, but I know there, and yet any news. The bottom line is that it is the turnaround time of the politics, the political dynamics. Don't forget, say, dear His Excellency President Rollins. Nyame fa ne cranes odi 1982 no afi na ade na year the results because 1982 no o pushi more northerners and o pushi more votarians o pushi more equipment and o the gas and o the year in the government into over the period no onu kra ache sa lotoki no ache afi na eto. Do you understand me? Enti hwe ye the likes of Haruna Mo a omu nyina so ewo ho but ewo time kakra they would also become very popular or bigger also to contest for. And you bet my baby and say, you be near Bibi, President Kufo by President Rollins, ne President Kufo, ne President Mama Bedouin, na Ghana Army, Ghana Police, commissioners in no hin and no free. Any army, commanders, generals in no free. Do no free north. It is the season. And to me, it is not a surprise. Okay. At the end of the day, they are all Ghanaians. I'm very grateful. I'm very happy. Say that competition. Why I need it? I need that competition. Who will come out to tell Ghanaians what they are going to do with the 5 northern regions? Until this time around, say Mubako win it. No one to man share north. Never in the history should anybody mention say north they are underdeveloped. It's the best time. Until Momo win it is good. Bakunko. Now you want campaign no struggle no north for. Fine. They should show their capacity. said they will just make sure say yamma and crama me da da command now from kaya you do election na do magu bass
na me can be say if whoever comes a fairly as a president and to develop Ghana and of course northern region that don't you think that will be the end
end there and I'm just
and I say obi be trinity be ma Ghanaians be gina to
take time that is all end the end yet but they take time then I'm just say it is very good
okay
enye bad so man for man say mon call for be say and e be no
but if in case it could happen Muslim I mean president Muslim vice Muslim.
Now, what else? You're president Christian and vice Christian. President Mills no nye Christian. President Rollins no nye Christian. And I'm a boy.
Yeah, that.
And what is this analogy? What is this kind of yeah? I mean, this I'm for Muslim. So either tribal or religion. So Dabani or Grusi or Mamprusi or Kushas. It doesn't matter. Or Ghana or Ghana. Either say or Buddhist or Muzama. And also or Methodist or Catholic near that. To me, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about the competency level. It has nothing to do with the background in the religion.
All right, Sam. Obi say we should continue next week, Mr. How can you tell me say we should continue next week? Farouk we ne pay ya no wo. So wuni mo stations that Farouk dey be two cars or ko no. Now I mean there's a connection, you know. I don't know. Meaning if he obey there fine. Because Farouk we meaning no topic be say ye treaty marriage and of course religion.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah,
marriage, religion, and dissolution.
What's a Makacho say a man of many paths, but me far course. Next 3 minutes in the far course na yedi and komo mene Farouk and Edi komo has say Farouk when to me who president of Ghana commissioning community library. We say
that was a bad taste. Okay.
From here to Kumasi.
No. That was a bad taste.
I'm not reducing.
Oh, and you're reducing per se, but then I don't blame the president. You blame the state protocol, and then you blame the state protocol and managers of the president. Look, President Biya and manager. If the president does not allow him to be manager, when you allow him to manage you get it like that. In fact, I must say, yes. Oko grace occasion of a library, no, one would say, maybe the name fee say Oko Kumase Equaya dear, assuming say Obibi na no ye, or region Muno Kohodia, quote unquote, is not bad. He could, why not? At the end of the day, no, and a ba and a cry and a be the Ashen in Munyam and so friend. But ordinarily, Sebia with 2 flights or 5 flights said the Okano, and or did the seat of government because when the president moves out. He moves with entourage not less than 80.
80?
Yes.
Ghana, hey?
Yes, there be
within.
Yes, well, there's a security protocols or DNA security detail, medical detail, BBR, or Koba Air, or my advanced party no far from Koyano. You can count cars home go near that day. Do you understand? And there at least 80 plus minus. And Tiano Koyano air big money. Do you understand? And we see a turnaround visit.
Who's your best president under the 4th Republic?
Sa question will be say me nyano.
I said there be say no dodge.
Never say me ntimi nyano.
I don't want me nyano.
Because you focuses and emphasis. Obia ubetimanya obia de kakrakra. Enye ni nyina na say country abeka bone no nko a. Obia on papa kakrakra waye. But to me no, me feel say so busam say performance of the whole of them from the 4th Republic 8 governments now. Make us collective we operate about 40%. And I said 4 out of 10 or 40% out of 100. That is very bad for 8 successive governments. And the performance so far, it is very worse. Accra street and it's not Nanado. And to me, I do not like it when former presidents, each other, or any other, omu take blame shots at each other. Where you say it is not right. That comparison is typically unnecessary.
Useless.
This is now would a useless crowd. Their minimum due respect. It's not necessary, because we should ask ourselves: say country, and where do we want to go? That is just only the direction. Is it about the economy? Is it about the agric? Is it about the education? Is it about what is the focus? focus on you Charlie. It's we don't
me am not say me research be say obi betima say anontima say that is me and masha say a campaign that
okay
one say obi e ka say President Kofo can say 8 years for a political party to develop a country is extra. What does it?
I agree.
Yes, to you agree.
Yes.
Oh, I agree. Me matrasa who say okay all from Mesha say free John Mills so. From John Mills to Nana Akufo-Addo. Obia besta otimi ye di developer man or in the first term. The second term be West. The second term to me omo the pesca. The second term ne what because first term no person on continuity no or ye normal gina so the ye ne campaign.
And no your friend mention your friend
say
bad political decision only just toward winning election, but good political decision it impacts a nation. Meaning say
so if the bad political decision according to
you take
it na say Ghana, why don't you go that way?
So they take bad political decision only to win elections, and that bad political decision it doesn't develop a nation. It's only developing this the political. One will say they did too much with the politics, whereas they're supposed to deal with the administration and governance and management. They leave the three and concentrate on the political system. The political side and no mubabe.
Na me my example be if you look at everything John Dramani Mahama did that in the first term now, because when you're in the second term no, and of course when we are talking about infrastructure, he did well. Talking about port terminal 3, airport terminal 3, Rich Hospital, Kumasi, Chese Bebia in the first term. Now do Akufo-Addo major policies or ni na in the first term. What does the second term we share them will be even first term no cry COVID sign hitting no. You can never take it away from him. He did his best or Juma, but second term what are we seeing?
All I'm just say second term no over concentration politics. Also, but the second term no, and then there says will be 100 meters racer. Only do 50 meters margin. I say finish hard. Is that not the case?
That is
and we don't do it like that.
So why don't you choose 4 years for them?
And yeah, 4 years. Let me tell you how it works. It is not the number of years. Look, Ghana hospitals supposed to be self. Or no, as a ultimate self-financing. Every hospital is a Kolibu. Now, medical industry, the money goes into the diagnostics, the money goes into the laboratories. Ghana government, Oko Kolibua, not sure how many doctors, teaching hospital, Kumasi, teaching hospital, Tamale, ye teaching hospitals, ye regional hospitals, let's say ye district, specialists for the obia prescription, lab, and the Indians, Chinese, South Africans, others, Ababi labs will chrome her. They are the end source of earning the money. And to doctor not to show patient, and yet do not prescribe a man, they can't prescribe the medicine. Medicine now cotton sanya wodia. There are no medicine now, doctor now stress on cotton, and your medicine now ye. And at the area no behum say and no so the medicine so ya so na ye day. Uji muska house in the scanner into your lab on only 2 need the receiving end and no answer all prescriptions and a basa
Ghana Yusika
say
I saw mine
we have too much money but we are so blind, so dumb, so mad.
Next week baba yeah to about all the callers neka say obi dey class every promise me because me person next week so baba ye be hwe in your industries there na yes ye be ma iska there na say Ghana nkasa so ye
industries they say ye near the taxes in the kum industries
ye be ye no na fe ya hwe 24-hour economy no before ye be say back kra na wo kan normal Ghana say ye dream outside the box ye betumi dey nyeska at least what can nurse for doctors in one for a country like Ghana, we can't even boast of international airline. I mean, know what treaty was. I say, yeah, I don't know this Kaba. If we can, I mean,
Tassam, don't talk about it.
We can't boast of it.
Only BB.
International
West
airline.
Africa, I'm sure. Oh, West Africa. Ghana training aviation staff more than any other country, including Nigeria. aviation professionals. KLM, Brony Bia no check your KLM. Ghana for any check flight no a dispatch.
KLM.
Yes.
Ghanaian
kwan a dispatch Brony Bianca. British Airways, major airline in the world. There is no white man. Ghana for none a dispatch. Do you think they are easy professionals? Those young girls, they are not easy professionals. Emirates, Brony Benewum, Ghana for a dispatch flight. No. Brussels, Ghana for a dispatch. Air France, Ghana for a dispatch. Bibia ni ho se Brony ba a technical no tarmac no na flight in walk on fa dispatch ho. And this was such huge professions and professionals now. Now to meet dispatch major aircraft for how many years? British Airways over 50 years flying in the air and occur 10 times a week. KLM call almost occur when you're 8 crore beko out of the 7 or 8 class acco. Emirates call 7. Brazil call how many times? Morocco call South Africa Oba Nansia call full in full out. Ethiopia Ethiopia say, are you so stupid? Say, we no have no. West Africa, Nigeria is here only in terms of numbers because population is so. But the average numbers in there, airport no operations in there. Ghana here, what can you say a year? Rapidity, Ghana here very fast because you get about 10 aircraft one evening. Omina obiako full. We need one jet, Bandarati. It is a quiet O2. I could have nipa 5 di Kukumase. Do you understand me? And she also Ubabu Sao said, how does it work? How does it function? Because say Ukofa aviation minister and yeah Minua Esiamanko, all of them before now present. Omuninara, what do they do, Mr. Osu? When they come at airline for whatever discussions they have with them, nobody can tell. All what we know is say Ghana try ye be say near causing agreement. Then funny enough,
you know, we prefer having presidential jet than national airline.
Uche,
and we don't like that one.
There's nothing beautiful in this world. Say Ujina country be airport, no one who flight. Cote d'Ivoire, a war-torn nation. Alas, what Arabic statistics is war 324. No?
Is it difficult to operate airline?
No, one the top plane.
The end koto.
There be obi an auto. You lease one the top plane. America a United kwani plane about 1 2 about kraka.
And the first can koto.
No, obi an auto plane triaka. Emirates kon to plane triaka.
So why?
Into leasing. And I make sure so leasing aircraft na professionals na there. O wa ma ne broso. Ebi to akro mu nya adwuma. Because airline adwuma no or 70 years kwana skills so on why and found retirement they can still do it. Omo tifie Ghana was for tifie omo KLM training omo Lufthansa training omo all of them gukrom obianko baby a enti ntumi nya model aircraft out there ye West Coast na ye collection na reduce so okay partner with Brazil partner with KLM partner with British Airways look me ye West Africa West Coast collection mefa Gambian passengers mefa we say Doma ba Accra ma shuttle mosum domba omo mko Doma ba enti so bi ko Gambia. Oh, hassle.
So we can even start from there.
But that is how we supposed to do
Europe.
And call Europe.
They enter Africa.
West Coast route in a Kwako do Morocco. In Tinkabetimako.
Okay.
Africa, Diano. Oko Accra. Utu Accra. We see Abidjan. We see Robertsfield. We see Morovia. We see Guinea, Conakry. To Dakar. Dakar straight away. No call Morocco. First, no call Las Palmas, no Adani Niaba. Obaso befa this side there. Obesina for Niger. And this is why Burkina, Niger, Mali combined. Na do maba. Entinka ubenya obia na okosa to suswa. Ukosa to suswa. Uko Nigeria ha. Wesi Cameroon. Wako Central African Republic Bongi. Wa February say na do maba. Enti proximity no obia ne the way obesi happen today your collection of the West Coast nkwa. West Coast nkwa billions of dollars. You don't need Europe. You do not need Europe. But what the what now how many Europeans na catch you say o flight ma. Let me tell you about Paul Kagame. Osi wodi KLM ba ebesi Kigali mesome de Air Rwanda eba ba besi Amsterdam wo sign our sign entu bedu in London no na Air Rwanda si o meaning say o ma kwa ma UK British Airways back Egypt the same thing no mu ye Kenya Airways the same thing Ethiopia kra de Air West oni de obeba o ma okra maybe Ethiopia Now it is the
and then more mutinye powerful sir.
Powerful sir Ghana near too clever. Yeah, independence we are near say per African OAU no. OAU no Haile Selassie or say ya nyina no magimadi no. And you meet him or him meeting to come and the buy. And the president mobile who play a trade journey then what he play and none of the airline and what ground. Throughout COVID, and then the only aircraft in the world that one packet that. Meanwhile, no Adnan a whole free. World Health Organization boss. Me know yes a whole interview. One man a flight in NC form. Destinations are not first one yanko. Buenos Aires, Brazil, no uncle. Your friends Argentina, no uncle. No do Sao Paulo. He said side destinations in now or Kwako Ecuador in Akaho. But Ecuadorian flight be and Eco Ethiopia. What did the mission say? European destination we see Frankfurt. It's Lufthansa and call. What I say, we see Frankfurt, we see Düsseldorf, we see baby. And to look at professionals, girls, work for Ethiopia Airlines, the workers in Kwan, air hostesses, they are more than 25,000. Talk about pilots. Kenya Airways, the pilots, young boys as far as 22 years. The flight in my boys 2, Baku 24. Senior captain Anka said 24. Ne co-pilot in 22 years. No, this machine about her cop. Labadi big hotel control. You be amazed and crack it. Because the country no want to focus. Yes, so no do go for the 3 air school. Or South Africa. Port Alfred no matter no donke. And Zambia on flight. Zambia or call. Angola call. Every country in this African country the flight call you.
I don't know any airline.
What's it?
National airline. I don't know any.
And I'm just saying. Yambusa aviation ministers in Eduomuba. Any the understanding of the aviation transport Yamuso understanding
thinking level lower.
I made a own our account. Minim. Me see Musa Omo. Oma understand. So near the ministry naman. Na me with the aviation ministry mamia. Are you getting me? I'll cut down. Me no more better say. Emirates. What they say? Obeba Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Ghana Airways. Mesumaba Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Into Oba 3 and Mesumaba 3 or ho. To balance the question.
Which is a possible that.
What is not possible? Yes, I do anasa have a big hop. When you see Kawaha, and yes, I saw a corner so memra. What they say? Who to Tuesday, who to Monday, Wednesday, Thursday up to Friday now. Made a mini aircraft to say, oh dear. Remember, 3 times. Ghana was able to Accra Monday or Beko Wednesday, Asako Saturday, Akaho. And to be our no fee say, Ninia Manes and Yama Uncle memories and church or Before Ghana Airways. And to a balance in a pepe. And there's so many passengers muntimi cry and carry womu identiness ultimate now now students womu now all these girls in so bia so mukabanku events and then boat food obi are nurse no kabanku ton
Farouk, don't laugh we baby ya dru no e ni brase mo
no
Baby, you do say,
do you understand me?
Mammy read the message we ma. Obi say me say you best be see airline so. You be see election no we say. But me pese Ghana for who ni pakro we. Farouk, yes, Farouk.
Me Farouk awa.
Titi. Apart from Ghana, I say
yes.
Ghanaians,
yes,
our leaders,
yes,
you have your connections with them.
They know me, I know them.
They know you know them, but they don't use you.
I don't want to be used.
Good.
They want to use you when you want.
Can you give me Ghana for person who say I am come about people don't actually believe me say they make an no correct.
Yes.
There was some leaders who were more outside. President Ankasa, you do advise them.
Yes.
And they take your advice to build their country.
Mm-hmm.
Country bit is any bit to say.
Okay. Right now, me representative Vanuatu our European Union. I advise the Vanuatu government on the European Union. They are linked their businesses with the European Union. Odimba, Gabonese president here too, no. I was one of his advisors, diplomatic. And anything between Gabon and Israel, and anything between Gabon and Russia, it was me who was
Gabon and Israel. Why can't we never call Israel?
Oh.
And Gabon and Russia.
Yes, because Ron Gill, the best oncologist in the world, was Israeli. I made him a Gabonese. I made him an honorary consulate for Gabon. It was my own.
So this is Farouk.
If you Google him, Rangela.
And a Ghana product.
Well, apart from that, WCH, we care for humanity and GOD, Global Order of Dignity. I'm the only. I also advise that platform on the UN. Is one of the biggest umbrella NGOs in the world. we honor even Canada, Japan, despite me, we've taken them to United Nations General Assembly. Apart from that, these are some of the few ones. Those ones that I have NDAs that I cannot disclose. But then, in terms of countries, we help them to secure arms, etc. These are on the business side. We do it. Also, we support them. Okay, we support certain countries to acquire.
And so, what do you do for Ghana?
Well, Ghana, I think, say, in 2016 thereabout, I helped Ghana. Once they trained the Krukwa police for Scorpion. That was my making.
Oh,
yeah, Scorpion was my project.
Wow.
From Czech Republic, Česká Zbrojka, CZ, any to be a CZ piano. It was more or less my project. But let me tell you, I myself sponsored Ghana government. This is no secret. I'm putting on out there. I sponsored Ghana government, 24 Ghanaian contingent from our packet to go to Czech Republic. It was a visit to a company for them to examine Ministry of Interior, Ghana Police Service, Fire Service, and Service was not part, a prison service, immigration.
Sorry, my messages in the Ghana First TikTok, no, it's off now. So, Britain, I'm connected with Omampa TV.
Okay.
Now,
so 24 members were to go and visit the country, examine the products. But prior to that, I'm the company in Doma Baha. I'm a 300 Ghanaian strong force police for our Teshi range. I'm Oma Tutu. I brought the guns and then the ammunitions and the arms to the Ghana police for them to use it for trial, free of charge. When they were going, the government of Ghana didn't put in $1 in a form of a ticket. I'm referring to NDC government 2016. Every ticket that those ministers, including Parliamentary Committee on Defense, Parliamentary Committee on Interior, everything came from our pocket. An amount whooping are almost about 260,000 for their tickets comfortably. Immigration NIPA 5 in the police NIPA 5. I can name them and they know it. I took them there. So when all these things, agreements were signed, etc., no, production were made, Ghana government was not going for. Thank God, Nanado government, but as I sit here, as to whatever that I did, because when we are the Ministry of Czech Republic Defense, it's me. When we are the Parliament of Czech, then Minister Michael Oyongo, if he's listening, they all know. I took them to Czech. And saying, I say, me and I'm for Sibia Minye Bibi, Ghana. No, I'm very quiet. I do not talk, whether good or bad. I did not earn one kobo, but I lost over 300,000 Ghana cedis because Bioko Bibian would tell me, including immigration, nobody paid for their ticket. It came from our personal pocket to help the country for them to get ammunition, weapons, etc. for Ghana police.
Yeah, you contract from someone.
No. When we produced the NDC government was out of power, but Nanko found production and Yoman Kwankoji. So this government went to negotiate. Agreement had been signed.
Would that you?
Well, I didn't even tell because they are producing Yamanes you ordered that.
Okay.
And Jomo Kofano Manti, but minim say a binum could dear anymore. What would have been the consultancy fee and charges? No, a bianca crabbe hono $1 a mammy, but at the end of the day, no, the whole project. It's me who took Ghana contingent. And then let me tell you interesting thing, Marco Yongo, Mr. Fred Bafu, Omina Kobi. It was supposed to be a visit to a company. I converted it into a state visit, into my full aircraft and officers in your team. Aircraft and the state visit, right? State convoy with police, full, the whole Czech Republic. Shopping Kromuko, police ne lead you be. I did that project. Do you understand me? I wouldn't say this, I've never told you before, but these are some of the things. So it's a country sometimes where you are there. Nobody in Timishia, please, when you tune say, yeah, me no mudi home come. What is I tell them, say, oh, say to we say, wow. I know, I brought it to Ghana
the first time. Powerful guns that we have.
I mean, one of the best.
Yeah.
Right now, we're doing something for Burkina.
You?
Yes. We're doing something for Burkina. There's no secret. We're doing something for some countries that are serious. What did they freely consult. And me, I'm that easygoing. It's not about money. It's about people having the kind of what I say.
Yeah, no more Ghana and you who how omusiti abrofo akese. Time I do omudu check no. Omunkuta DNA abrofo no. How was it?
Oh, but say if I was the territorial consultant for both the Czech company.
No man for Musa Kogugo Mochi.
There be say any day I took charge of the discussions, and the minister would also, of course, and then we have the ambassador on the ground, of course, Madam Zita at that time. They were helpful. Parliamentary representative Mr. Fritz Bafo, all of them were there. At the end of the day, I remember said to you, and go for government of Ghana, the government then could train rebels or Czech Republic, but these are the guns, sir. Ukruma is home use. Oh, no.
Next week, Miss.
Empire, the Incremo Fellow, sing your money to Alayaka.
I want the fly and the best sender one.
I don't know.
On your papa. You're funny, sir.